That's a lot to consider, but it's a beauty. All right, I'm going for it.
Most people think a $50,000 car costs $50,000, but that's not true. In reality, that car can quietly cost you over $300,000. And the shocking part? It has nothing to do with the price of the car. It has to do with something almost nobody thinks about, something that silently destroys wealth for millions of high earners. And if you stay with me until the end, I'm going to show you the simple rule wealthy people follow that eliminates this trap completely. Once you see the math behind this, you will never look at car payments the same way again. Let's start with how the trap actually begins. Imagine two people. Both are successful professionals earning around $100,000 a year. One of them decides to celebrate their success with a new car. They walk into a dealership. The car costs $50,000. Now, most people don't pay cash. They finance it. The dealer tells them the same thing dealers tell everyone. Don't worry about the price. Just focus on the monthly payment. And suddenly the decision becomes easier. Instead of a $50,000 purchase, it becomes a $700 monthly payment. $700 doesn't feel scary, especially when you're earning a good income. So they sign the papers and drive home feeling successful. But here's the first problem. That car starts losing value immediately. The moment it leaves the dealership, it depreciates. After just 1 year, it might lose 20% of its value. After 5 years, it may be worth less than half of what you paid. But depreciation is only half the story, because the real trap is psychological. Once someone gets used to driving a nice car, something interesting happens. It becomes their new baseline. The brain adjusts. The luxury becomes normal. And when the loan ends, most people don't keep the car for another 10 years. They upgrade. New car, new loan, new payment. And this is where the real financial damage begins, because most people repeat this cycle every 5 to 7 years. Over a lifetime, that means someone might finance 5 or 6 different cars, and each time they restart the same payment. $600, $700, sometimes $900, year after year, decade after decade. Now here's the question nobody asks when signing that loan agreement. What else could that money have done? To answer that, we need to look at the math. Let's go back to that $700 monthly payment. Instead of sending that money to a bank every month, imagine investing it, just $700, into a simple index fund earning around 8% annually, which is roughly the long-term average of the stock market. Here's what happens. After 10 years, investing $700 per month would grow to around $127,000, already more than double the price of the car. But compounding doesn't grow in a straight line. It accelerates. After 20 years, that same monthly investment becomes roughly $415,000. Now, something interesting has happened. A single car payment cycle has turned into nearly $500,000. But let's go further. After 30 years, that same $700 per month grows to over $1 million. $1 million from the same money many people spend on a car payment. Now remember something important. Most people don't just finance one car. They repeat this cycle multiple times. They upgrade the car every few years. Each new loan restarts the payment clock. And over decades, the compounding they sacrificed becomes enormous, which means the real cost of that $50,000 car is not the sticker price. It's the future wealth that money could have created. In many cases, over $300,000, sometimes much more. And this is why so many people earning 6 figures still feel financially stuck. They're not poor. They're not irresponsible. They're simply caught in a system designed to convert income into lifestyle payments. Car payments, phone upgrades, subscription services, convenience spending. Each one seems small, but together they quietly drain the engine that builds wealth. But here's the part that changes everything. Avoiding this trap doesn't mean you have to drive terrible cars forever. It simply requires following a different rule. But before we talk about the rule, there's one more detail most people overlook. The real trap isn't the first car loan. It's the second, third, and fourth one. because each time you upgrade your car, you reset the compounding clock, and resetting that clock repeatedly is what destroys long-term wealth, which is exactly why financially free people approach cars very differently. And that brings us to the rule. Wealthy people tend to follow a simple principle. Your lifestyle should grow slower than your investments, not the other way around. Here's a practical version of that rule. Never let the total value of your vehicles exceed half of your annual income. And, if possible, avoid long-term car loans entirely, because cars are not investments. They are depreciating machines. They lose value every single year, yet many people treat them as symbols of success. They upgrade the car before upgrading their investments. They upgrade their phone before upgrading their savings. They upgrade their lifestyle before upgrading their financial future. But once you understand this rule, your thinking changes. Instead of asking, "What car payment can I afford?" you start asking, "What investment am I sacrificing for this car?" That single question changes how you see every financial decision, because suddenly the cost becomes visible, not just today, but decades from now. Escaping this trap doesn't require extreme sacrifice. It simply requires redirecting the flow of money. Instead of financing lifestyle upgrades, finance your future. Many financially free people follow a strategy like this. Buy reliable used cars. Keep them longer, avoid long-term car loans, and invest the difference. That difference might only be a few $100s per month, but over time, those dollars become investments. Those investments become assets, and those assets eventually produce income. That's when something powerful happens. Your money begins working harder than you do. And when that happens, you stop trading your time for survival. You start buying back your freedom, which is the real purpose of wealth, not luxury, not status. Freedom, the freedom to choose how you spend your time, the freedom to walk away from work you hate, the freedom to live without constant financial stress. And ironically, the people who reach that freedom rarely drive the flashiest cars, because they understand something most people never realize. Looking rich is expensive, but becoming rich requires patience. Earlier in the video, I told you the real reason a $50,000 car becomes a $300,000 mistake. It's not the price of the car, it's the compounding you gave up. And once you see that clearly, every financial decision starts to look different. So the next time you see a $50,000 car, remember this. It might not cost $50,000. It might cost $300,000 of your future wealth. And the question becomes, is the ride really worth the price? If this video helped you see through the financial trap, subscribe to the channel, because here we break down the systems that quietly keep high earners stuck and the rules that help you escape the rat race. Stop financing the illusion of wealth. Start compounding your freedom.